$800, gentlemen, for the GMC B2100. We have quasi official confirmation on this price for the G-Shock watch because Kay Jewelers accidentally put on their website, and it seems like every big release somewhere, some jeweler around the world is accidentally allowing it to go on their website for sale. And remember, we first looked at this on gcentral.com. So going back there, they've released an article about this, and the article is entitled G-Shock GMC B2100 is not a screwback. Expected price $800. All right, so to catch everybody up to what the discussion is, this is exactly what I was talking about when the conceptual, the renderings that were first leaked online not too long ago, may have been a month or two ago. I was wondering what the back side of the watch would look like, okay? Because the GM2110D, which I have, this G Steel watch, the back of it is just like, is like every other G-Shock watch that has 4 screws holding down a little plate of steel. And I don't know what gauge steel this is. Maybe 14 gauge. Actually, it's really hard to tell. I don't know if you guys who are watching can see. Those of you listening on the podcast can just imagine the back of a regular square watch. That's what it's like on the GM 2110D, right? So the bezel's metal, the bracelet's metal, the indices are metal, the hands are metal. It has a lot of metal bling, but it's all cap because the actual watch case is resin on the GM 2110D. Okay, but that makes it $300 because you're not spending top dollar for all metal, right? And they made this particular one to be affordable, and I could afford it, and I was happy to. This is my new church watch. A lot of you guys were saying that was too expensive. Well, guess what? Casio has raised the bar on expense with this brand new GMC B2100, okay? And the back is a screwback, meaning that you have a small piece of sheet metal screwed down with 4 screws, okay? Pretty wild, all right? Now, there's another watch, which is the GM B2110D, all right? I know some of you may be confused by all of these G's and M's and B's and 2100s, but this is the original Casio that was metal, all right? And when you look at the back, it doesn't have a screw back, it has a screw in back, which that subtle distinction. Guys, attention to detail, all right? When we talk about esoteric watch nomenclature, you got to pay attention. So the back looks like a manhole cover, and it's a threaded manhole cover, and it screws into the watch because there's female threads in there. I don't know if it's NPT or what, but there's threads in the case. All right. So instead of 4 screws just holding a piece of sheet metal, very thin sheet metal into the case, the back of the case or the case itself is like a really thick coin that has chamfered edges on the GM B2100D. Okay. And that one costs $550. All right. So are you guys confused enough? What I'm saying is that we were wondering if this rumored watch would have that screw in back, which is the manhole cover, or the screw back, which is the sheet metal with four screws. I don't know if they're sheet metal screws or they're probably machinist screws. I've never, now that I think about it, I've never actually unscrewed the back case of any of my G-Shock watches. They're solar powered or the batteries have lasted long enough. I've never needed to. But now we have confirmation that this rumored watch, which Kay Jewelers has spilled the beans on, at least on the price, the GMC B2100, it is, you know what? I may have confused myself with the nomenclature. but it has a sheet metal back. It does not have the manhole. It does not have the coin. Doesn't have that. And premium watches usually have the manhole cover. All right. Let me just read the article. The Full Metal G-Shock GMC B2100 chronograph series is expected to be released next month in October, and one retailer in the U.S. already listed online with new images and information. The GMC B2100 AD2A light blue dial and GMC B2100 D1A black dial are listed for $800 each, but, quote, out of stock, end quote, at K Jewelers Outlet. As seen in a previous leak, the GMC B2100 has a full analog display with dual time subdial, which also acts as a chronograph. Images of the case backs show that the watches are made in Japan, use module 5733, and do not have the traditional screw lock back or screw back of the GMB 2100 and the GMW B5000. Although this makes it the first series of the full metal line without a screw back, it is not a serious issue, as many of the peak MRG models, including the MRG B2100, do not use a screw back. But we did like how the GMB 2100 adopted it as a nod to the original G-Shock. Without a screw back, it is possible that the GMC B2100 is thinner and lighter than the GMB 2100. The full dimensions and weight are not listed, but the description states 45mm stainless steel case. The GMB 2100 is 44.4mm wide, but does not have an electronic crown like the GMC B2100. The stainless steel band and its reference number could be the same as the GMB 2100 and GMW B5000 band, and the GMC B2100 is probably similar in size to the GMB 2100. And then, all right, so G Central shared the picture of the screw back. Okay. Let me continue reading. The A in GMC B2100 AD seems to suggest a color dial, which we also saw in the GMB 2100 AD-2A. The international names are expected to be GMC B2100 AD-2A and GMC B2100 D-1A. Did you guys write that down? Allow me to interject. International viewers of this channel and listeners of the Jim Kinkade podcast, did you guys write those down? Okay. All right, let me jump back into it. Oh, it's the turn of the hour. You guys, all the G-Shocks are beeping. Every hour in my household, it's like a orchestra of beeping G-Shocks. All right, let me jump back in. The case back also confirms that the watch has tough solar and Bluetooth, but we already knew that from the dial indicators. There is no mention in the description of multiband 6 automatic radio-controlled time correction, but it also says that the display is mineral glass. The MRG B2100 has multiband 6 and sapphire glass. The GMB 2100 does not have multiband 6. If correct, the $800 price tag seems a bit steep. Yeah? Oh, sorry for the interjection. Sorry. Let me get back into the article. Especially after the recent introduction of the GM 2110D at $300. But it seems like a good strategy for Casio to offer higher-end 2100 models at several price points and a full analog metal 2100 with a much lower price than the MRG B2100 is definitely wanted and needed. The GMC B2100 is approaching the price of the G-Shock MTG series and may also attract customers who might otherwise be looking for a mechanical watch from other brands in the $1,000 price range. The price also starts to make the similarly equipped GMB 2100 look like a bargain. Please note that since this information does not come from Casio directly, we do not consider it a full confirmation of anything mentioned, It is likely that the series will be officially announced this week. Whoa. All right. All right. So that's it for the article. Thank you for G Central for the breakdown. I hope that he explained it better than I did. But let's look at the pictures. Those of you watching on the Jim Kinkade YouTube channel. Where'd they go? All right. So this is, and yeah, you're looking at the backside here, okay? Those of you watching. This is the new release. All right, so we're looking at the light blue one, which again, as I said, was the GMC B2100 AD2A. And did you international viewers write down the international model number, which is slightly different? And I don't even remember what it was, because not being international, I'm just national. I'm not international. I didn't write it down. Anyways, so right off the bat, just looking at the picture, it doesn't look as brushed steel. Like the whole polished steel seems to be gone. Like my church watch, which is the GM 2110D, is really brushed. It's like it shines so much, and there's no dots on the bracelet, which makes it even sleeker, even cleaner. And the indices bling because they have a lot of facets to them. Okay. Now, looking at this picture from K Jewelers, this is the K Jewelers outlet. I'm looking at the light blue dial of this new chronograph watch from G-Shock, and it doesn't seem to be as polished. It seems more brushed, okay? And that's pretty wild, because I was planning on making a video saying that G-Shock needs brushed steel, like a Zin watch, a Zin U1 or a Zin U50. All right, brushed steel. Right, the mechanic at work. He has a an Apple Watch that he has a case and a bracelet for that's brushed steel, and the brushed steel is very appealing to me. I'm assuming that it would be appealing to more guys. Right, the brushed steel. It just the polished steel. The polished, sometimes a little over the top. A little too much. I mean, the polished steel does have its place. You love that shine. You love that bling. But the brushed steel, a little more practical. It can take more scratches without, looking like it's dinged up. And I don't know. I just like it. But that's just from these pictures. I mean, it may be the case that it's as polished as every other G Steel watch. But what do you guys think about brushed steel? Should I make that video where I tell them, hey, you need brushed steel? Because they watch the channel, they listen to you, they read your comments. So if we all were like, yeah, give us the brushed steel, it probably wouldn't be long before we got a metal G-Shock watch with a brushed steel. All right. And so, I was speculating on what gauge sheet metal they use when they get that little screwed back. And I've already confused myself the difference between a screw-in back, a screwed back, or whatever. I'm hoping that someone can correct me, because I don't want to derail this whole podcast trying to look up what it is. We'll just call it the manhole cover or the sheet or the sheet metal. Okay, it's kind of like when there's a hole at work. You can just put a big piece of sheet metal over it. Or you can put a manhole cover in. And that's the two options for the gaping hole in the back of a watch case, right? So the sheet metal on this brand new watch that we're looking at is wider. It covers the whole back of the watch. So when you look at, I'm looking at the GM 2110D, my church watch, and you can see the plastic of the case, right? The sheet metal is smaller. It's narrower than the actual case, right? And so the case back does look more premium. I mean, I like the feel of that manhole cover, the coin when it's chamfered, because it gives it kind of a turtle belly that I think fits better. It doesn't make the watch as deep, and so when you have a big wrist and it's really wide, the angles that G-Shock puts on the first link can kind of dig into your arm. And when you have a thicker back, when you have more of a belly to the back of that watch, that depth between the links isn't as pronounced. Does that make sense? Probably not. I think that some of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And so, yeah, looking at this picture now, so I just scrolled to the next picture. The watch looks thicker, okay? It looks more like a tuna can, and it doesn't have the same adjustment type on the bracelet, okay? So the bracelet on the GM2110D has the little pins inside, but this new watch has the pins you got to poke in through from the outside. All right. And the clasp. Okay. All right. We're looking at the dial now. Now the dial has, this one's light blue, and it has a chronograph. It has 3 subdials in it. Well, 4. One of them's tiny, the AM, PM, and then day of the week, little day of the week indicator. All right. So those of you watching, what do you think? Let's look at the one with the black dial. I think that I would prefer this one. Now the clasp, I was disappointed in the clasp in my church watch. I don't think it's robust enough, but it's a $300 watch. This particular watch has more micro adjustments. It has 4. My church watch only has 3. And I don't know how robust this new watch is going to be, but it does not have a fold-over clasp, which I want. I want some extra securement to the clasp. At $800, they are not offering that. And those of you who don't believe me about the $800, it says right here, $800. K Jewelers outlet. How an outlet could get a hold of a watch that hasn't even been released yet, I don't know. Someone who works on the databases at K Jewelers done goofed. I think it looks cool. $800. I mean, you guys were saying that $300 was too much for the GM2110D, which is my church watch. I thought it was a pretty good deal, and I compared it to other watches. You guys, a lot of you insisted that it was too expensive. A few of you agreed that it seemed to be a pretty good deal. All right. Now we have a chronograph G Steel watch at $800, and that seems to be way too much. To me, it seems to be way too much. Okay, that's how much the Mudmaster cost. What do you guys think? Now, all right. So yes, we did look at the GMB 2110D, which has the manhole cover on the back, right? $550, and it's a sweet manhole cover. That one I could just never get enough money for, right? And so I was happy that the $300 steel watch came out. All right. Now there's one watch I had my eye on, and it's the MTG B3000. All right. So this one retails at $1,050, and wow, this one it looks like something out of like a Japanese cartoon, like Voltron or whatever. It looks like a machine. It looks really cool. And then but it doesn't have the same type of like case build. It's not like a case with a bezel. And that's the weirdest thing about this new G Steel watch that we're looking at, that when I zoom in on the picture, all right, and of course the actual picture is not even zooming in at all. When you zoom in, the bezel is metal and the case is metal. It's like, and then on these watches, which are designed to look a lot like the original G-Shock watch from 1983, it was a plastic bezel that I believe went over a metal case. Someone might have to correct me, but even like the Seiko Arnie, it's a metal watch with a plastic bezel. All right, and so these bezels they're just like kind of like put over the watch. It's truly like a yes cap situation, to use some Zoomer terminology. The Zoomers say no cap. Well, this is a cap. You just turn it over and you look. It's just like a cap. You just put a cap on top of a watch, and that cap is metal. Okay, and so it's like dressing it up. It's like like putting lipstick on a pig or a shine on a sneaker, right? And so it's like even more pronounced with my El Cheapo Casio church watch. My previous one is an El Cheapo Casio, and it has a metal bezel, and it's just obviously a plastic watch with a piece of chromed out metal, very thin, probably like 36 gauge steel, maybe even, I don't know, 48. It's hard to tell, but very thin, but highly polished. Looks snazzy. Snazzy is the word I used for it, right? And so it's just weird looking at this new watch that they leaked, and it's a metal case, and the metal bezels just slapped on in the same way. I guess to use, it would be like if you had gold teeth, like if you already had gold teeth, would you go out and get like more bling, like a cap to put over your gold teeth? This might just be an unhinged old man rant, because does anybody know what I'm saying? Like, you look at the MTG B3000, right? And it's all metal. It's like metal all the way around. Like there's no need for like a cap. The bezel is just a bezel. It just goes around the sapphire glass. All right. Speaking of sapphire glass, some of you were like really, really into the sapphire glass. Like the Team Sapphire Glass, and you guys get so mad when any watch is released by G-Shock that has mineral glass. All right. So how do you feel about an $800 mineral glass watch? Because remember, the Mudmaster GWG B1000 is $800 and has sapphire glass. Like, it just seems to me that whenever you have an $800 G-Shock watch, it's got to that $800 point with sapphire glass. But now Casio is planning on hitting us with an $800 bill for a mineral glass watch. Are you going to stand for that? And again, I don't want to get anybody's blood pressure rising. I don't want to have anybody, checking in the hospital with a heart attack or anything, getting all angry about the mineral glass and the cost of this watch. Because just like G Central ended their article, this is just conjecture. Or no, sorry, it's not conjecture. We're just assuming that K Jewelers is this information is accurate. Like, someone on the K Jeweler website accidentally made public this new watch with an $800 price tag. Casio G-Shock has not officially released this. This is not on the G-Shock website. G-Shock has not announced this. G-Shock has not confirmed an $800 price tag, okay? So everybody just calm down. All right, calm down. This is a hypothetical question about the $800 price tag. This is not confirmed, okay? So if you guys go look in the mirror, do you guys have like bulging veins in your forehead? All right, just relax, all right? Oh, and by the way, check out jimkinkade.com. That's my blog. I put all my watch videos up on this new blog. So when you go to the blog, it says archives, and it goes all the way back to February 2023, right? But I just uploaded those a few weeks ago, and, just kind of put all my videos up there. If you like websites, you can go there. And I wrote articles, all right? I wrote some articles, and the website's under construction because, work takes most of my time, and all my other spare time is spent making videos. And then on top of that, you want me to make a website? That's kind of crazy. I mean, I have a website, but the quality of their website is debatable. You guys got to check it out and see, is it like, I know it's not good, but is it like at least acceptable? All right. That's jimkinkade.com. The tagline is G-Shock news, reviews, and abuse. Oh, did anybody win that wall clock? I want all the guys from Canada to chime in if you guys won the wall clock, because G-Shock Canada had that contest, and I believe the drawing was yesterday. So if you guys said they were going to enter, who said they were going to enter? Let me look. I'm looking through the comments because Canadians, they were jumping for joy, okay? Like the Fat Classic was just happy that Canada was shown some love, all right? Dave Kim said that I applied since I am in Canada, but hopefully I win. it just occurred to me, like, the taxes in Canada, you might be better off not winning, right? Because they're going to tax you for winning, and they're going to be like, this chintzy plastic wall clock is worth $500, so pay taxes on that, and it's like, yeah, I would love that wall clock, but I mean, it's made valuable by how rare it is. I mean, it's a plastic wall clock. It doesn't even have multi-band 6. All right, that would be cool if the wall clock had multi-band 6. It's annoying to set wall clocks. Yeah, it would be cool to have, right? But its value is inflated by how rare it is, right? But still, all right. I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, especially if someone just won this contest and now they're realizing they're going to get a tax bill for it. Just enjoy your moment, all right? Just enjoy the moment. You won a wall clock. That's awesome. It's a G-Shock wall clock. And by the way, I think that they have that. You can buy it with G-Shock points. I'm not 100% sure. They added some more things to the G-Shock points program, like a rug. I'm going to try and get a rug if I'm able to buy one more G-Shock thing. And unfortunately, I bought a Citizen thing, all right? So later on this week, on the schedule for the Jim Kinkade YouTube channel, I got the Promaster Land landed at my house. And since I bought it, Citizen went and they changed the name, okay? We were very confused of this whole storyline going on with the Promaster Land, this watch, okay? Because we saw it on this like whiz-bang promotional website, which was like Citizen Global. And I don't remember what they called it at the time, but this, with it being called Citizen Land, Promaster Land, that's the name that they gave it at its release. And I was like waiting for it to be cheaper because it retailed at $700. Well, I found a sale. I'll talk more about it when I get it, which should be in a few days, all right? But anyways, they changed the name again since I bought it. When I bought it, it was called the Promaster Land. Okay, now you go to the Citizen website and it's called the Promaster Land U822. All right, let's look at the green one. Promaster Land U822. Now I look at that and I think Promaster Land U822? Like what is 22? We're going to have to look it up. All right, I'm going to do a Google search. 22 food. Tutu's food and drink. Tutu, traditional side dish from Curacao. Tutu is a traditional dish in Curacao, Aruba, in Bonaire. Isn't Design Altier, isn't he in Aruba? Like, yeah, I should know. I am a Watch Pirate Hall of Famer, okay? I am a Watch Pirate. Did you guys know that? I'm in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, we should ask, I think Jason's in Aruba. I can't remember. I believe he's in the Caribbean, so he could get some tutu. Tell us even what tutu is, right? And then it would be like Promaster Land. You ate tutu? Yes. All right. Anyways, okay. That was like way off the rails for all of you who are still around. All right. So we're looking at the green one, and the green one already people are complaining in the comments about how the band is too small. So I'm glad I did not get the green one because it like the band, which is like Cordura, just seemed to me looking at the pictures to be too small. And as you know, I'm a big wrister. We got 5 reviews already on the Citizen website, and 3.8 out of 5 stars is the average review for the Promaster Land U822. Yes. Yeah. All right. So one of the reviewers dinged it for. Yes, my only reason for not giving it 5 stars is because of the band. The band is great looking, but should be slightly longer. All right. I already know that the ProMaster Land that I bought has a long enough band because I tried it on at the jewelry store in the mall at Zales. Right? And so there's also another ProMaster Land U822. And this one is a more expensive one that is like a anniversary edition. So it's metal. It has a metal bracelet. It's like gunmetal colored. And it comes in that Pelican style box with an additional fabric band, which if it's like the other green ProMaster Land U822 will be too small. Will be too small for me. All right. Some of you other gentlemen may be interested in it. And so that one kind of has like a camo print on the dial and the bezel, and it's gunmetal colored, and there is no color in this at all. It looks a lot like the Godzilla Ecozilla that was purple. You know, this one has no contrasting colors at all. And so now the international website for this ProMaster Land watch had a stainless steel colored one with a blue dial. That one is not available in the United States. When you go to the Citizen website, you have to scroll down to the one that I purchased. And this one is 5 stars. This one has 2 reviews already on the Citizen website, and it's 5 stars. 2 5-star reviews. And oh wow, Stan R, who's a verified buyer, gives it 5 stars. He says, "Excellent watch. This might be the perfect watch by Citizen. I love the digital display, and the functionality is top-notch and very intuitive once you run through it the first time. It is a very light watch, despite its size, and looks good for any occasion." All right, so a lot of guys, when we were previewing the ProMaster Land, were like, "Oh, that's the size of a Buick hubcap. No deal." You know, some of the small wristers. It's not that big. I think it's 43 millimeters in the diameter, according to this website, 43.9. So, I mean, the G-Shocks we're looking at 45, right? And like, it's just really wild to me that this Citizen Promaster Land, this watch, it seems to have so much popularity, you know, for me and guys like us. It seems to be very popular among us. There's no fanfare. They've already changed the name of it a couple times, and it's buried on the Citizen website. It doesn't add up, right? And so the reason why I'm getting this, I mean, I already have a giant metal box full of all these G-Shocks, is just for the sake of the conversation we're having on the channel, all right? The $700 is too much to spend for it. I think we all agreed about that. So I caught it on sale, right? These jewelry stores around here, they have spontaneous sales where it's like 25, 30, 35% off. And I timed it perfect. Boom, I got it. We'll take a look, and hopefully, you know, on the other end, I'll sell it and, you know, recoup some of the cost, just so it could be like, hey, let's look at it, because there's very little information online or on YouTube or anywhere, right? And so I'll take a look at it, and you know, my website, I think that you can like add a shop on a website. All right, I'm not like a website guru, but maybe I'll just sell it there, or eBay, or even Facebook Marketplace. I mean, I'm not on Facebook, but can like you know, tell someone who is, be like, hey, just put this on Facebook Marketplace. You know, sell for $1,000. Just give me back $700. Sell for a huge profit. I'm only kidding, but yes. So it's in the mail. When it arrives, we'll do the unboxing video, first impressions, which is guaranteed to be chaotic. When I unboxed the Rangeman GPR H1000, someone said that was the most chaotic unboxing they'd ever seen, and I said, challenge accepted. So every one of my unboxings now is chaotic. All right. The previous unboxing of the watch I'm wearing now, which is the GD010, on top of being chaotic, had bad lighting that But once the unboxing starts, you can't just be like, oh, hold on, time out, let me fix the lights. There's no do-overs in a chaotic unboxing. Nonetheless, I think that it was an okay video. The problem with the lighting was just when I held the watch in one spot, there was glare from the light. When I held it in another spot, like just a subtle change, it was the shadow across the face of the watch. But eventually we rectified that situation, and when we got the information across that we needed to about my first impressions of the GD010. Oh, whew. Guys, it smells like diesel. Oh, it stings my nose. I smell it and it stings my nose. And look, there's like dirt encrusted into the keeper. It's like 2 holes in the keeper. Do you guys see that dirt in there? Yeah, I tough tested it today. All right, stay tuned for that video. I accidentally got some diesel on my G-Shock GD010. It was really wild. It was like pretty much the same mistake that happened on how I got hydraulic oil on it. But this time it's diesel. So the diesel cleaned off the hydraulic oil from when I accidentally got hydraulic oil on it. But the trade-off is that now it smells like diesel. But the good part is that diesel, like, it kind of breaks in a G-Shock really well. That's my opinion. I mean, the G-Shock corporate headquarters would probably discourage you from diesel dunking your watch. Pat's Guitars got back to us about his GA010. And I got to read this comment because this is some really wild information. Pat's Guitars. I got the GA010 Anti-Digi this week. It's larger than I realized. But the carbon core case makes it lightweight. The analog hands and indices are extremely legible, and the digital LCD display is very clear. The case and band quality are very much G-Shock and not Walmart Casio. It does have a party trick I didn't realize. Pressing the lower right start button gives you a quick start stopwatch like a few other G-Shock models. Thank you, Pat's Guitars, for getting back to us about the GA010. And I am really happy to hear that about the, this button that's like on the Rangeman GW9400. You just press the start button and the stopwatch starts from the main time screen. That's what he's saying, right? That's great. That's awesome. I tried that on this watch. When on the home time screen, you press start, it scrolls through the different time zones, like Gary Hunt was telling us, right? And so Pat's Guitars is saying get the GA010, you press start, the stopwatch begins rolling. Bing, bang, boom. That's pretty cool. All right? Now I want to really check out the GA010 of the Anti-Digi, all right? And also, I want to know what party that you're going to that you can be like, hey, everybody, come on over here, check it out. Everybody's like, what is it? The stopwatch. Oh yeah! Everybody's like cheering. That's a really cool party that that you could, like, the trick would be, hey, I can start my stopwatch from the main home screen. You guys want to see? Yeah! Oh! I want to go to that party. Is your band playing that party? That would make it even better. We get some live music. We hear the beep of stopwatches starting from the main home screen of brand new Anti-Digi watches with extreme legibility. That's what I'm talking about. Perfect party right there. All right, gentlemen, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through him. I'm Jim Kinkade. Thanks for watching.